energies. Okay, I'll try to make this a quick one. Cat, she can really get over. God, she can really wear you out. She's here, she's gone, she leaves, she comes back. It's like a shopper. Window shopping. Whatever that meant. So anyway. All right, so astral target individual and spirit health doctor energies, or intuitive doctor frequencies. So kind of going in a different direction. That the astral, I mean, I've gone through this. They're still kind of doing stuff because I guess the spirit realm doesn't do much for you, but I mean, I've been attacked too. Trying to sabotage things like that, because that family would do that too. Yeah, family just gotta love it. And then they live forever for some reason. It's like for whatever reason they're here for. I guess parasitic energies can't die. Just sit here and just do nothing and just suck off the Earth's energy, I guess. That's what my family does. It's like, I don't know why they're here. It's not a big family, it's small, but it's like has no purpose here. But anyway, whatever. Whatever. I guess weeds and all of that, parasitic frequencies, I guess they just have somewhere to go. Suck the life out of the party, right? It makes sense. If you're parasitic, you live forever. OJ died finally. Still kind of, I don't know. There's so many different ways of looking at that whole situation. Not going to go into that, but I was going to bring that up. I forgot about it. We'll just leave it for another day. But yeah, astro targeted energies. Yeah, just good to put your intentions to clear out anything like that. Obviously, if you're here on a spiritual direction, here to assist humanity, obviously they wanted to take you out, kill you, suck off your soul, become a family of do-nothings, and so on. Just something to look forward to. God. So, just self-sabotage or sabotaging do-nothing beings, which I had to grow up with. So, but yeah, these astro-targeted energies, Men in Black can do it to a certain level, but just the beings that, the parasitic beings that are here that just don't, they're Archon beings, they just want to keep this, whatever this is, going. Well, they just want to keep the manipulation going, obviously. Well, they gives them a reason to exist. So, to suck the life out of everyone, to keep people stupid. Of course, the spirit realm is pretty stupid, too. So, even if they have the best intention, I think they're still kind of stupid there, too. So, but they're keeping us, obviously, from connecting to our higher dimension selves and everything, so they can do what they're doing, suck the life out of humanity and give us Joe Biden or Bill Clinton or Hillary Clinton or any of those presidents and so on. George Bush. God, yuck. Like, some soul-sucking parasitic energies. We just channel those energies and just let what it needs to say there. And spirit health frequency, just basically tap into intuitive healing energies. I mean, this must be for somebody, because usually I don't go into that direction, which is kind of interesting bringing that up. So, it's doing this type of stuff is not what it's cracked up to be. That's for sure. Go be a normal person and watch football, I guess, or whatever the hell they do. Talk about nothing all day. It's 5 sessions. That's what I call it. We have a scheduler. We have a shop here. Right. Because the store is working, or the site's working to a certain level. not too big on this style, but works decently. So Priscilla's here on the side, so I'm taking a bath now. So all right, we connect to astral target individual frequencies. Um, just it's good to be able. You might not be targeted, but you might know somebody it is, or I know sounds weird saying that, but you'd be surprised. Yeah, we might blow it off, but there is some serious stuff going on here for sure. I know I've been through a lot of it. I'm still going through it. It never seems to end. Yeah, it's like when you die, that's when you get to live a life. Here, you just get beaten up constantly. I'm so tired of it. Yeah, grass is definitely not greener on my end, that's for sure. And then unless you're around the cats, then that's good there. So okay, all right, we're going to the astral energies. So all right, blessings. Here we go. Greens, we are at astral energies. Of course, believe what you must. Some are going through their own soul drama, soul contracts of not being able to release the karma from previous incarnations. So they're going through astral attacks, but not in the same way as they might feel like it is a target individual, but not necessarily. Basically, if you incarnate here, as some of you are connected to like the star beings or even the Garthian beings or even to the angelics, just like anything else, you're covert, but of course the beings here attach themselves to everything they can, but they, and some of you are learning how this world works, so you go through this type of targeted situation. It's part of it. Some of you use it to your advantage, to test yourself. It's not always going to make itself completely clear. But it is a real thing. Some do feel like it's fourth dimension, yes, fourth dimension and fifth dimension, different government frequencies, of course. But for some of you on a soul contract here, one moment, some of you are just clearing out karma, so what's left over, so you can leave this world in peace. But some that you might run into are going through a lot more karma than you realize, or not be able to let go of things, and then they do cause some difficulties even in your timeline. But either way, you still give them time to heal. It's just not always easy to see it that way. Sometimes you have parents that are going through karma, or sometimes the parents' energies sometimes they're on their first incarnation, are helping you through it. But those that go through like painful lifetimes, like pain this, pain that, go through that's not always, it's not always for pain purposes. A lot of it's actually going to soul. It's actually going deeper into your soul contract. It's actually going more into yourself. It's like getting to know yourself more. I know it sounds pretty bad, but it's like you're testing yourself, but it's a test basically. You can call it pain. You don't have to look at it from a victim's point of view. It's just you're really seeing what you can handle here. Because some can't handle anything. They have to have a relationship instantly. They have to have a job instantly. They cannot handle a life alone. Some of you have mastered it. So there's that. We're not going into all the details of that situation, but you'd be surprised how many have to, and they're living, they're common humans. Of course, they're also part of the population to keep the population going. So, of course, they're going to have some kind of relationship to come in to bring in some kind of, to reproduce here. And not to say that's their only purpose, but that is part of their purpose. So, of course, they're going to be brought in some kind of relationship, and if they like it or not, it doesn't really matter. As long as there's someone that's brought in here, they can always change their point of view or not change their point of view or whatever they do with it. As long as they bring someone into the world, that's all that matters. For some of you are here for a different task, a deeper, call it, sometimes more troubling situation. Doesn't mean you're trying to test yourself more. Sometimes you're going deeper into the Earth's consciousness to help others. And doing so, you're going into places, physically. I mean, not physically, astrally, but you're doing something here, right? When you're assisting humanity unlocking themselves from the prison, yeah, you're going to be attacked, hunted down, try to kill you, try to get you to do that, but they're just not going to make anything easy. And sometimes you do keep relationship energies away from you just because of that, because they're always coming after you. So yeah, it's not an easy life at all. Yeah, it's difficult, but it is like a militarized mission here for some of you, and you know it. You know it. It can be angelic. It can be through Agartha. It can be through the alien groups, and so on. It's just not your normal life. But it's like working for, like a shadow government energy. And it's just not for everybody. It's true. It's like sometimes you just, it's just, there's soul growth there. It's not always going to show itself what it is. Sometimes it's patience. Sometimes it's just, you're just battling. The entities that you're battling here obviously are soulless. I mean, they have some kind of soul, but they don't care about anything. So you're actually here to break them down. some of the worst demonic beings in this universe are here. So some of you are fighting them energetically and not even knowing it. So that's guessing it's called targeted energy, but it's more like a fight in that regard. But as for the targeted frequencies, all it has to do with what you're here to do. Some that are targeted are just here to bring in information here in the physical, so that'd be known by the government, the modern government agencies. At least have the potential to do so. So, and some of you came from other planets. And it's like some of you are actually world jumpers and you know it, time travelers, and have no idea. It's like, this is why I'm being targeted. I shift realities all the time. Even if you don't always noticing it. Sometimes you come here way low. That was a little bit difficult to tap into because you're probably not shifting. Because sometimes you jump into this world and you don't go anywhere else. You just stay here. And there's different ways of looking at time travel and frequencies, but it doesn't mean you're time traveling to another time. Sometimes you're just altering the time here with what fits best for you. It's not always, but a lot of times that's the way. You just have a grasp of shifting timelines, you can say. But it doesn't mean you leave this reality altogether. Blessings. Brings use is intuitive, healing energies, health consciousness. Soul. The soul is releasing a lot of enzymes or dimensional energies that have caused human suffering. Some of you are bringing in actually a feline frequency to heal the lower dimensions, but also the reptilian has tapping into all of these elements here, all these different, DNA, whatever you want to call it, astral DNA, whatever you want to call it. They all have their own function. The reptilian is known to ground the frequencies here, but also to remove lower dimensional energies. Also, obviously, there are some there to attach things to people. We can also use a removal process too. Okay, your dragon energies and however you want to look at it. But the feline also has a sense of smell, a sense of detection. It's like felines are like detectives, basically. And you use your intuitive detective work to find ailments to heal a person. So the feline has other, hidden, abilities. Of course, the dragon does too, but it's like everyone has their own different senses. That's why you can access different versions of it. But the dragon is truly to remove it, but the feline is to find it. Sometimes the feline can remove entities, but sometimes they just need the reptilian to do so. to give you a different perspective, the canine has a healing frequency. So after you do the healing removal of lower dimensional energies, the canine frequencies from Sirius is just to bring a calmness, a healing factor through. So it's different ways of looking at. Also, the Arcturian is known to not always detect. Sometimes but the feline is still one of the better detectors. Of course, the canine has their own version of it to a certain level too. It depends on the person too. If the person has a lot of canine frequencies, canine energy works great to find things, but not always. But sometimes that works. Sometimes they need a feline frequency to do it. Sometimes Arcturians can see it. So it's different for everybody. Like a real complicated person that doesn't want their energy read. Sometimes a reptilian can get a feline, can get a Arcturian can get through it and do a clearing. You'd be surprised how many people here don't want to be seen. They cloak they put their walls up. They kind of want to be cloaked at the same time. So it's something to think about and in your own heal. So if you're doing a self-healing frequency, you can just ask, the positive reptilian energy to help you remove any entities or any blockages. You call on the feline to do so, and so on. We're just giving you the short version of everything. Just another way. It doesn't mean you'll clear everything. There's also the Elohim for some of you. And of course, the dragon frequencies. Like I said, everyone operates differently. And of course, the Yeshua, Christ consciousness, some are connected to that collective. Meaning, there's different ways of looking at the Christ consciousness. Some of you have been, that's the way they call it here. But as other realms, it's the same type of going to a world and being a healer, but also a teacher. I would say mostly teacher than healer. We're helping people heal themselves. So just to go over there and just heal someone from their pain does have a positive, but think of it as a way of getting their attention. It's like, doing the clearing, but also telling them now it's time for you to do it yourself. That's the true teachings, really. Teach others to heal, and they can heal others, but when everyone becomes reliant on you. They're not willing to heal themselves. Now, here in the physical, you have to go to a doctor, physician to heal, it's kind of God bless humanity for just completely disconnecting from their abilities, powers, and just allowing, a stranger come in and poke around and do things. That's usually not how it works, but that says a lot. It's like a mechanic coming in and fixing the body, the vehicle. But that's a sense of trust. So that's a good thing. But it's obviously healing yourself on a physical level is not the easiest. You definitely need it. But there will be a time when it becomes easier, but not just yet, for obvious reasons. But the human here, it just shows how the sense of trust that's there. But also, I guess, if you can't get the right treatments, that's where the exit points rely on. Because, people don't want to be stuck here forever. So you want some way of escape, release. That's why you have why driving is dangerous, why flying isn't exactly the safest, and so on. It's safe for the most part, but there's obviously some cases. So, like with Boeing, it was having difficulties with their, some planes were crashing. Well, a lot of people chose that exit point. It might be rough for somebody to accept, but it's just the way it is. So, and they literally wanted to fly on that plane because of that. They don't call it an exit point. That's not necessarily a suicide. It's an exit point. It's also to teach Boeing to get their act together. But by driving your car and all that, of course, it's good to drive wisely and not recklessly. Because if you drive recklessly, we'll catch up to you. Doesn't mean you have exit points, but you'll have some issues there. So put the positive vibrations around that, protect everyone, of course, not to cause any negative intentions with that. But this world has all these dangers everywhere, so you can find a way out of here. And sometimes those that go through a car wreck and survive but feel kind of beat up, it depends on the age of the person. Sometimes it is kind of like a glimpse into an exit point there also. at some point, maybe not there, but that doesn't mean there's not one on its way or it's one's formulated. It doesn't mean it's going to happen right now, but it shows that you can bring it in when the time is right. So it's giving a way, and it's kind of sometimes giving an idea of how to get out of here. Well, it's not, like I said, it's not. This world has always been temporary. Of course, many are still getting used to being human and need 20, 30 years just to get used to it. But healing the body is very important, of course, to a certain level. The body is not always meant to be healed fully because also part of the exit point strategy. Do you want it too good, so then all of a sudden you're living for 1,000 years? So that's another reason why the healing abilities aren't like as some would like it to be. If clearings are one thing, that's good. But if you actually heal the body, is your society ready to live for 200 years, 300 years? No, in the same body. uh, Eventually, but it's not quite at that point yet. So, yeah, blessings.